And did I hear too, Kim, you probably know because you're pretty up on all this stuff, that for them to get an organic, like a certificate, it's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot to get that certification, if I remember that correctly. Is that true, Kim?
Yes. And I think someone shared with me, which I really appreciated on Young Living standpoint, is a lot of FDA regulations don't recognize using essential oils as pesticides. So like they use all truly organic process. I mean, I love the fact that they even are now hatching these bugs to ward off like ladybugs and other sorts of bugs to help ward off certain other issues with crop issues. And I love the fact that they use their own oils.
Yes.
So that's not recognized sometimes, as other companies want more substantial, I guess recognized, you would say, pesticides out there, which is kind of crazy. So organic to me doesn't really always mean everything. Like I sit there and I'm, that to me, like when people come back at that, I'm like, you need to go visit the farm, because when you do that, you will realize you're not going to get that kind of practice on another farm elsewhere. They're amazing. Outside of Bethel, it's like they're pretty good there.
Yeah. And
tonight, I was going to share with you guys Cozy Up, it's called. It's my first time trying it. I like it. It's 4 drops peppermint, 4 drops cinnamon bark, and 3 drops lemon. And it's kind of invigorating, but I like it because it's keeping me going tonight.
I like that. Yeah. Sounds great. The other thing is, Young Living is known that if the oil batch does not meet their standards, they have been known to throw hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of oils, and they'll use them in the fields to help with what you're saying, pests, a natural way to get rid of bugs that aren't helpful. And yeah, they've been known to do that. There was a farmer who had started working there, and he's like, I couldn't believe that they were going to just dump this on the fields. And they said, we're not selling this. This is not something we're giving our people. So they're such a high integrity company. So yeah, so that's why we feel really good about using our essential oils to make jacked up elderberry and jacked up honey, because I just love the jacked up part, because it just takes it to the next level. Because I did a little bit of, I have some notes here about elderberry. It has been used, we know that elderberry, like all these other plants, were put here by our creator, and they're amazing. And we've gotten so far away from the earth, but we're seeing and sharing with others these wonderful plants that were put here for us to use, and they were used throughout history. So the Egyptian used elderberry for skin and healing of burns and scars. Hippocrates mentioned it and referred to it as nature's medicine chest. And in the Middle Ages, it was considered a holy tree capable of restoring good health, keeping good health, restoring health, keeping good health, and an aid to longevity. And then the Native Americans always used it more as a tea. And so definitely something we can add to our tea. We could even make a tea with it if we would want to. But we're going to learn about the heating too of like with oils and honey. And if we get the temperatures too hot, that's not a good thing for oils and for honey. So elderberry contains a variety of immunological and antioxidant properties. It's high in flavonoids called anthocyanins, and this gives it that dark purple color. It's recorded high on the ORAC or scale, which is the oxygen radical absorption capacity. And the ORAC is really important because the higher that is, it assists the body with natural defenses and cell communication. So the immune modulating and antioxidant properties work at a cellular level, which supports a healthy immune system. So that's amazing. And of course, we know that when you add oils to anything, it helps the bioavailability in your body. So by normalizing and promoting the production of cytokines, and we know we've been hearing about cytokines, which is an action that is essential for overall wellness, and it promotes a balanced system, and it's especially good during winter months, and we can benefit from it because those cytokines are really, really important in normalizing and upping our immune system. So the other thing I found really is it really supports our respiratory system. So it helps with a healthy inflammatory response. Oh, Ruth is coming in. Ruth is coming in. So, and maintains the integrity of mucous membranes. Okay, so what's really important, hi Ruth.
Hi.
What's really important with all these different respiratory viruses that go around, especially in the winter months. So this really, really can help with warding this off. So it's really amazing to have these things to help us with that. Quercetin is another thing we've been hearing a lot about using that. And it is a flavonoid that's responsible for healthy response to pain in joints and muscles. And rutin is another flavonoid that supports the integrity of our blood vessels. Elderberry is also high in fiber, which is great. A, C, iron, potassium, and minerals. So all of this is in this purple juice, okay? It's known to have high antioxidants, like we said with the ORAC scale, and it boosts the immune system. It lowers cholesterol and helps us have a healthier blood pressure. And it can alleviate or keep respiratory conditions at bay. There was an Australian study. These researchers discovered the phytochemicals that are found in elderberry inhibited the early stages of intercepting viral proteins before entering the host cell. So using this again as proactive is really key. But they also found that it has the capacity to prevent the influenza virus from continuing to spread after the cells were infected by the virus. So either way, as a proactive, or if we do get sick, we can benefit from all of this goodness that's in this elderberry. So what we would want to do is, and I don't know how many of you have already made your elderberry. I know Kim did. So I did this because I wanted it to be at least 115 degrees, because you do boil the elderberry for about 45 minutes to an hour. You get it down to about half as the water is boiling off. It's 4 cups to 1.5 cups of dried elderberries, and I doubled mine. So this is what I have left. So it's a good amount. And then you just squeeze it out, and it's very easy. You can use cheesecloth. You can just use a strainer that's very, very thin. Like I have a metal one with little like tiny spaces, and you can just kind of squeeze it down in there. And so you just cook it up and make sure your water is good water, good filtered water. Don't want to use tap water. There's so much bad stuff in our tap water. So make sure whatever water you're using, it's a good water source. It's very filtered, is always the best. Even for us drinking, we know we want to make sure our water is good. There's this for a quart, like I'm going to fill up this quart. I'm not going to do it now because I'll probably make a mess, but this is a quart, and you would get 64 tablespoons, which is an adult serving of elderberry, 64 out of 1 quart. So that's going to last you quite a while, because for an adult, it's 1 tablespoon a day. For kids, it's 1.5 to 1 teaspoon a day. And if you're sick, if you do become sick, you want to use it every 3 hours until you're well. So you want to refrigerate it. That's the best way to keep it. But some people, and I think I might do this, I don't have them, but I think I might get some trays of smaller trays of an ice cube tray and fill it up and freeze it. And then you can just pop it in your Ningxia or whatever. And it's kind of like a little an ice cube. So I think I'm going to do that this time, but it does keep, especially when you put the honey in, honey is a natural preservative. So as long as it's refrigerated, it does keep for quite a long time. I think they say you should use it in a couple months, but I've had it much longer and it's fine in the refrigerator. But I think freezing it would be even better. And then you have it when you need it. So I would really suggest using it as preventative, like now's the time of year. Make your elderberry, have it there, add it to whatever you want it. You can just drink it straight, or you can, add it to, like I like to add it in the winter to my Ningxia, Kombucha. That's what I drink every day with my Zolphirzine, and then I just add a tablespoon of elderberry, and I got everything all at one time. So makes it really easy. I like that. Does anybody else have any ideas of how they used elderberry in the past? Or I used
it the same way you used it. I made it last year, and my husband and I both took a tablespoon every day, and we started it in October. So I just ordered a whole bunch of elderberries from I think it's a Pioneer Sister in California. They're all organic, and she has the spices already in it and the bag.
Okay.
And I think she's on Instagram. I think she's called Hippie Coconut or Hippie. I forget what her tag name is.
Well, yeah, if you could put that in, if you can find that out and put that.
I'll have to try to remember her name.
That would be great. Or
so I bought a whole bunch of bags, and I'm going to make it tomorrow. But last year, my husband and I took it for the whole, cold and flu season. And we just took a tablespoon as a preventative every day. Yeah.
Welcome, Teresa Brown, too. I just see you're here.
I'm going to go get the bag, and then I'll get the name off of it. It's in the kitchen.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, hon. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yes, I've been using elderberry syrup for years. I think maybe I would say about 4 or 5 years, maybe a little longer than that. I used to get bronchitis every winter, and I got turned on to that, and I would always take it as a preventative in the winter and then again in the spring for my allergies. And it literally coats the throat and all of the lungs. So it repels so many things. But I started making my own batches with COVID. So getting the berries, using the ginger, the cloves. So that's why I was interested in what your recipe was like. But it really does work very well.
So do you just put the cloves, like real cloves in?
She's right. The hippie coconut is a sister who does that. Another friend of mine uses her too. I didn't know about that one. I bought a kit on Amazon. I bought the berries by themselves and then used my actual sack. And then I've also bought the one where it comes with the clove, the ginger, the cinnamon stick, and it's all inside. And you put the bag inside and just boil it till it comes reduced, just like you said. So there's a variety. Other people put ashwagandha in there, all kinds of other things.
You can do a
kind
lot
of variate it. Yeah. So
absolutely.
Well, I thought it was hippie. It's not hippie.
Isn't that hippie?
It's happy. Happie. Happy coconut.
Yeah, I was thinking I would be surprised if it was hippie. So
I knew it was an H. But anyway, on Instagram, it's Happy Coconut, HAPPIE. coconut. And then in her profile, there's a link to her store, and she sells some other things too that she makes. She makes some salve, I think is how you say it,
Yeah.
and some other natural things. But yeah, I bought a kit like the other sister was saying, Doretta, and it has the elderberries, turmeric root, ginger root, whole cloves, and cinnamon sticks. So it's just like a little bundle, and you just put it on the stove with all the seasonings and all the spices and make it up. So yeah,
Awesome.
it's a pretty good price.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just bought the organic dried from Amazon to get it as quickly as possible. And it doesn't have anything in it because I like to use the oils. And what's nice is spices can get old, and you end up pushing them behind your cabinet, and before you know it, it's like, oh, they lose their potency. So I like using the oils because they are so concentrated and they don't spoil. And so it's just a nice add-in. So you of course don't have to add all of these, but
no, I still do with mine. I still add oils to it.
But yeah, the recipe calls for 7 oils. Now it says 1 drop each for the recipe, and I doubled it. So I would add 2 drops each. The other thing you could remember is we're going to make jacked up honey. You could put all these oils in the honey and then add it as well. So what I mentioned about heat is we know that Young Living, they steam distill, but they know the temperatures of each one and how to use it. If you heat up your oils too much or honey, it really neutralizes a lot of the benefits. So we want to, think about that. And yeah, I was gonna say something about, we'll talk about the honey then. So let's see, it's cinnamon bark, nutmeg, ginger, clove, orange, thieves, and frankincense. Now, does anybody know why you would add frankincense? Anybody have any ideas with that? So I didn't see it. Okay, nobody has their hand up. Okay. So frankincense, we know, even the Mayo Clinic has said how this helps our body to promote the regeneration or the remaking, because our bodies are always making new cells. It helps and promotes our body to make healthy cells. So frankincense is a vitality. This is not a vitality bottle. It's the bigger bottle, the smaller bottles, and the white label, but it's the same oil. So you can get frankincense in vitality. So we know this frankincense it's the same oil as the vitality, but they just have the smaller bottles marked as that. So anything that is marked a vitality with the white label, you can use, the bigger one. There's no difference in the oil. So we know frankincense is a vitality. I love frankincense. I use it every day, and I have a breast cream I make with, and I put this in it. So with a bunch of other oils. So
yes, I made your breast oil stuff, and I love it. I love it.
Isn't it amazing? It's
so thank
great.
you so much for that recipe, because I'm using it every night.
Yeah, I mean, it's just again, it's just so wonderful that we have these oils, these beautiful oils that we know how they benefit us. It's just amazing. So yeah, so what I would do is I would add my cup of honey, which I would add 2 cups of honey, and then I would add a drop of each of the oils and stir it up and put it in my jar, and there you got elderberry. So, and I like the idea of the cubes too. So honey, the benefits of honey. Of course, it's high in antioxidants. It's antiviral, antibacterial, and it actually has, it contains a natural form of hydrogen peroxide, which I thought was really cool. It is a phytonutrient powerhouse, and it boosts our immune system, and it has anti-cancer benefits, but only if it's raw. So you want to make sure. Now, the farmer's market I go to, I love getting it. It is in a glass jar, which I love reusing these for my kombucha scobies that I have so many of. But this is raw honey. So, and this, you know, it doesn't really matter what kind. Everybody has a different, maybe flavor, clover, alfalfa. There's tubolo. There's so many. This is clover honey. So you want to make sure that it's raw, because when it's heated up and pasteurized, like you buy most of the time in the stores, that really has killed off all the benefits of the honey. So that's why also we want to let our elderberry syrup, when it's boiling for 45 minutes, let it cool. Make sure you don't put the oils or the honey in until it's like 115 degrees. And then I have to say I'm guilty when I make tea. I think I put it in way too soon, but I just like drinking hot tea. So I probably ruin it a little bit, but I try to remember to wait a little bit, you know, because when you boil the water, it's 212 degrees. So it might take, you know, like a few minutes for it to get down. Now my hands are sticky. So I'll keep this here because I'll need it anyway. So it's also great for digestion, honey. It's a natural prebiotic that feeds the good bacteria. And also, you know, elderberry does all this stuff too. It really does. It soothes a sore throat. You know, honey, you can just take, especially with the jacked up honey, if you take a couple tablespoons, you have a sore throat, you just let it coat your throat. And it actually has, and I just learned this, I didn't know this, it has, let's see if I can say this right, dextromethorphan. It's a common ingredient that's found in cough medicine. It's naturally in honey. So isn't it amazing? All these things that they mimic to help us, cough medicine or different things, it's in all these products that we just don't realize they were put here on this planet for us to use. So it's pretty cool. And so the vitality oils, they're really high, especially the citrus. The citrus is high in D-lemon. So that has a lot of benefits too. We know the more we have of that, the better it is. That's where the antioxidants come in. And so it's really, really important. Anything citrus. But what I love is when you use lemon to cook or whatever. And again, like if I make scallops, I will, when the heat's off, I just will add a drop of or two of the lemon oil and just toss it in there, and it tastes so, so good. So you don't need to have lemons. You don't need to have oranges for this type of thing. And sometimes you just like to eat an orange, but yeah, so they have all that D-lemon. That's really, really good. So let's see. Also, like I said, the ways I like to drink my elderberry and honey is with tea. Has anybody made Ningxia tea? Has anybody heard of that? Lori has.
I haven't. I did Ninja kombucha. That was good.
Well,
Never did tea. You just drink it hot? You just take the kombucha and just,
yeah.
I mean, the Ninja and just make it like hot tea?
Yeah, I just take 2
Cool.
ounces. I put it in a tea, in a cup, a teacup, add hot water.
Cool.
And it is amazing. In the winter time, it's amazing. So again, and you can add, let it cool a little, add the honey. It's just so, so good. So if you're like, and there's no caffeine, so you can drink it at night. Like it's Awesome.
I
What
like
You
Jeanette?
do
it
the little
too.
packet? You do the packet with the hot water or just 2 tablespoons, or how much with hot water in a mug?
I just use like my regular, like 2 ounces, like my shot glass of Ningxia, and then just add the hot water.
Neat, I'll have to try that.
It's a
Yeah.
nice way to sweeten your tea without adding, sugar or honey or something like that, because it makes it nicely sweet, but you've added no sweetener in essence, because the Ningxia is just the juices and has stevia in it. So
Mhm. I've also had a friend come here one time and she goes, "Can I just have the jacked up honey and hot water?" And literally that's all she drank was the jacked up honey, a tablespoon in hot water. And it's like really, really awesome. And I do that with spearmint oil. I'll add a drop in hot water, and I won't make it like as hot. And then I'll add a tablespoon of the jacked up honey. And it's like, you don't need a tea bag. It's, or loose leaf tea. You can have tea on the go. It's like, it's awesome. So it's a nice little trick. But I like that, Lori, that I never thought about that. It kind of does sweeten it up a little, the Ningxia. Yeah. Yeah,
That's cool. That's cool. Because I just read an article not too long ago that a lot of our tea bags are made of plastic.
Oh. And I buy tea from I can't think of it right now. It's loose leaf tea, Sipology. Has anybody heard of Sipology?
I don't think I have.
I love their tea.
yeah, their tea is really good, really good.
And what I learned through having a class with her, the woman that is selling it, that I know, a lot of people sell it, but the one, Patricia, that I know, is that like, it's basically when you get a tea bag, it's like dust. It's not really the tea, you know what I mean? Like loose leaf tea compared to a tea bag is so different. So I've been really avoiding, except I use the green tea for my kombucha, but tea bags, I got the organic, the Newman organic. But other than that, I've been drinking loose leaf tea. And Teresa, let me read what she said. Lancaster Spice and Tea Exchange. Teresa, if you want to unmute, do you order it through the online, or do you go there?
You can do both. It's a little bit of a drive for me, so they ship it to me. They are a franchised store throughout the country, so they do have other locations, but they have a large selection of loose leaf teas.
Awesome, great. Yeah, more places we can get it, and I know shipping is always sometimes. I mean, that's why another reason I love Young Living is their shipping so reasonable. But I think when Sipology, when I ordered teas, it was like almost $20 for shipping, wasn't it, Lori? Do you remember?
Wow. Hopefully you bought a lot.
It was a lot. The tea was very high quality. I got some fruity teas from them, and there was actually like pieces of pretty good sized dried fruit chunks.
Yeah.
I mean, and compared to even another loose leaf tea I had, I kind of poured them side by side, and the Sipology is really everything's much bigger, much brighter. It was really good, but the shipping was it was over $10 for sure. It was a lot. Yeah.
Well, I did get like a tea. I got a tea infuser thing, and so it goes by the weight, I guess. But the other thing with it, like the bubbly tea, people, you go to Chinese restaurants and they have this bubbly tea. Their bubbly tea has the pieces of fruit in, but it has basil seeds in it, and you can eat them. And basil seeds have a lot of benefits, anti-cancer benefits. So it's like you can drink the tea and you can eat what's in it. Or what I did was I ate some of it and I drained it, and then I put it in some plain yogurt with the fruit pieces. It was so good. It was like, because I don't really buy yogurt except for plain yogurt. I don't buy any fruity yogurts because it's too much sugar. And I don't want to use the fake sugar. So I just buy plain yogurt and put it in. So you can use that tea and put it in your yogurt. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things they have. My favorite is the butterscotch chai. It's so good. Because
You know
I'm
what I
a
like to, you know what I like to do with my Greek yogurt is I like to add the Ningxia to it. I do granola, homemade granola, and then Ningxia, I do an ounce of that. And
Yeah,
it
Wow.
makes it
sounds
like a
good.
parfait. Oh, it's so good. Sometimes
it's a smoothie bowl.
yes.
It's you can make a smoothie bowl with Ningxia. Yes.
So good.
Yeah.
Like
So
go-to, and then you could do your dried fruits in there too. Oh, it's so
I'll have to try that tomorrow morning. I have yogurt.
good.
great. It's a great breakfast. And well, Young Living has granola too with the wolfberry in. And I do like their granola and their other cereal too. So yeah, so the jacked up honey, let's go, let's do this. I again double the recipe. This is an 8-ounce jar. Okay, so my trick, my suggestion is fill your jar up, whether it's 4-ounce or 8-ounce, fill it up halfway. Then you add your oils. So I'm going to add 10, where's thieves? I'm going to add, instead of 5 drops of thieves, I'm going to add 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to add lemon. Lemon is awesome. I love it. So I'm going to add 8 of that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to add 4 drops of peppermint. And 2 drops orange. This one. Actually, 4 drops. And then oregano. So how many have made jacked up honey before? Okay, so not everybody adds the oregano, okay? But I love the oregano. You don't like it, Lori?
Well, I can get by if I do like 1 drop. Ken totally loves it. To me, the oregano's strong. It's strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. What about you, Kim? Do you put oregano in?
I put oregano and I put a drop or 2 of thyme too. And my husband, I will say, Denise, I got the idea from you last year, and he was so elated to find out I was making it tonight. He was like a little kid. He's like, I can't wait, because he loves the thieves lozenges, and he like will go through those constantly. But if
Yeah.
he has this in the evening, he won't touch those as much. And he's like, oh, tell Denise, thank you. I love that. So he's all excited.
Yeah.
And how much honey again do you have in there?
Okay, so this is 8 ounces.
Oh, so you have 8 ounces of honey to all these drops that you're doing right now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you.
So now the recipe I have is for 4 ounces. So like I said, I double it. And then oregano, if you choose, you can add just 1 drop if you want, but I like to go for it. Now, oregano is a powerhouse. I'm telling you, this stuff is, antiviral, antibacterial. I mean, if you can say that. But it really, really is. This, if you ever have any sinus issues, this is what I do. I boil some water, I put a drop in, I make it tent over, and I breathe that in. You can do that, and you add a drop of Raven, a drop of you literally need 1 drop. And I'm telling you, it is so healing. It's unbelievable. So yeah, so I really like to add it. And then of course I'm going to just top it off, and you would still have to stir it. But if you
So you're adding another 8 ounces of honey on top of
No.
the other?
it's 4 ounces and then 4 more ounces.
Oh, okay, 4. Okay, so 8 ounces total.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is 8 ounces total.
Okay.
But what's nice is now the oils are in the middle. And so I still take a knife. I usually take a metal knife, and I'll just, I'll just stir it up. But it really does help if you do it like half and then top it off. It's a nice little trick. And I go through this like crazy. I have never used so much honey in my life as I have since I make jacked up honey. There you are. Hi, I know you're happy today.
This is the sister that taught me how to make the jacked up honey.
Yeah, I love that stuff. That's the best stuff. I have it in my tea all through the winter whenever she makes it. So it's great.
Yeah, it really is. It's really great. Yeah. So
you did 10 drops of thieves, you said, and 8 lemon?
Yep.
Okay.
10
And 4
drops
peppermint,
thieves,
4 orange, and 1
8
oregano.
drops lemon, 4 drops peppermint, 4 drops orange, and then 1 or 2 drops oregano.
Perfect.
And you can do 1 drop, and then if oregano, and if you're fine with that, and if you think you need more, just add another drop.
Cool.
And then
We have some friends that have bees right near us, our friends around the corner. So I'm going to ask them for some.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
The nice thing too, like with the elderberry, some people might not want to use the oil. So say you're going to you have a child, and then you're both going to use it. You can make separate, jars to make sure that the child and, or you could even just do individual, like, if you don't want to add all of those, you don't have to. Do you know what I mean? I call it jacked up elderberry because elderberry has all those benefits that we were talking about, but we're jacking it up with the oils. And especially during the winter months, I feel it's good. But, for kids, everybody has to use their own discretion if they want their kids to take oils internally or not. And of course, you'd want your kids to be a certain age before you would introduce them to it. And they need so much less than us. So you could keep like one separate with no oils in, and then add it if you just want that day, like say, hey, today I'm going to add a drop of thieves to mine. You can even add it if you add the elderberry to your nature drink, you can add an oil then or 2 or whatever you're thinking. So I kind of just leave it up to everybody. But like I said, the recipe called for these 7 oils, which is like, that's a lot of oils, but you're only adding a drop. So it just shows how potent they are, that you only need to have a drop for, well, I'm trying to think. Yours didn't quite make a quart, right, Kim? And you did. No. Did you do the 4 cups and 1.5 cup?
I lessened it because I think yours calls for like a 1.5 cups of elderberry, and I barely got a cup out of the package I bought. But I am going with the happy coconut girl, so I just ordered one while I was here, and I think this comes with a lot more. So I'll probably be able to do your actual recipe next time. But I just called it. I did a little bit less, and it turned out great. So I'm excited to try it the real way next time, though.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, the kit from the Happy Coconut, you add 6 cups of water to the muslin bag that she has in the little bag.
That's great.
Yeah. Elderberries do not smell good, by the way. If nobody's ever bought them before, they smell like stinky feet.
I mean, it's not the best smell, but
people should be warned if you've never bought. I remember the first time I bought them, I'm like, wow, they got a weird smell.
Yeah. Well, the oils do, I think, make it taste better too. So yeah. I don't think there's quite. I don't know. It doesn't look like there's a cup in here, but it maybe. I don't know. But anyway, her recipe said 6 cups of water. Well, they smell. They have a little smell to it. This is a pound I got, and a pound, and I think it was like $25 for a pound.
That's not
So
bad.
I got this amount and then I still have this much left. So I thought it was a good price, you know, for it. Yeah, Danielle. I'm sorry. How do you say your name? Danielle?
Dorette.
Durette. Okay, sorry.
Dorette. That's okay. It's okay. Could you repeat the oils? I know I think I heard all of them, but I only have 6 written down.
For the okay, so
For the elderberry.
yeah, frankincense,
Mm-hmm.
thieves, ginger, clove, nutmeg, orange,
Ah,
and
okay.
cinnamon bark.
I missed that one. Okay, thank you.
Mhm. And you know, it's really a preference because you can add some of them, all of them, however you want it. It's really
I know I enjoy when the elderberries are boiling, but I've always had it where it had clove and ginger in it, so the house just smells. While it's I didn't really notice it, but now that I think about what the berries smell like by themselves, she's not. It's an acquired smell.
yeah. Yeah, because it's true. When you get that kit, you're adding all that in, so you're not just smelling the elderberry.
Right, but straight up, if you just did it straight up, they do have a smell.
Yeah. It's an
Yeah.
acquired scent. It's like an
So
acquired
does anybody know what you could do with it after you boil it? You can't eat them. I mean, I guess you got to throw them away, or I guess throw them in your garden, or I hate to. throw
No,
them away.
because you're not supposed to eat raw elderberry the way I
I know.
understand. But when I was reading, I forget there was
Yeah,
something in them that it's not
good for you.
not beneficial to eat them
I'll
uncooked.
throw them out in the garden.
Yeah, throw them out in the garden is probably good, or maybe your plants or
Yeah,
The birds might like it.
yeah. Or
true.
the squirrels. The
Yeah.
squirrels. Somebody will eat it.
They'll eat it.
Yeah, so if anybody else has anything they want to share about, you know, elderberry that they know that I didn't mention, or the oils. I mean, like I mentioned in the beginning, I don't know if that was in the recording. You want to make sure that if you are using essential oils, you're using oils that are truly safe for consumption. So the Vitality line from Young Living, we know that they are, you know, approved for consumption because they're the only company that has a Vitality line. And the reason they're marked that way is so we can ingest them. So I just love that.
Honey is good for allergies. If you get local honey in your area,
yes,
it's really good for allergies.
yeah. And I did want to mention that too. I don't think I did that. Wherever you live, you want to get honey that is local to your area. That's the best benefits for you if it's in your general area. Like if I would order it from Amazon, it would be from Florida. You know, not that there's anything wrong with the honey in Florida.
But for allergy purposes, you want it local.
But the benefits are better if it's local. Yeah. And definitely raw. You want to make sure it's marked raw, that it's not been processed or in any way, because that the pasteurizing, the heat takes it up, and then it's really destroys all the goodness.
And if it has the honeycomb in it, is that considered raw?
Yeah, that's considered raw. Yeah, definitely. That's about as raw as you can get. My friend got bees, and they had these honeycombs. The first time I ever saw like big honeycombs that come out of I've never seen that in real life before. And then they had this big barrel with this thing, and she said, I mean, it was quite a job to get the honey out of there. Like it's just all manpower. Like they were all taking turns. There was a whole bunch of them. They had like a weekend thing, and then she got this honey, and I got some of it, but I mean, you don't get a lot out of these combs. Like
now you know why it's expensive.
Yeah, it is. But this is 5 pounds, and it was $29 for
That's not
5
bad.
at the farmer's market. I didn't think that was bad at all.
No, it's expensive
You
here.
don't want to
Even at the
know what they're
farmer's market.
charging in Massachusetts either.
Yeah, it's expensive here too if you want to get real
Really?
honey.
I think a jar like this is like $12 out our way.
Wow.
Yeah. But you know what? It's a little farm stand that's on the side of the road, and it's an old couple, and I'm like,
You're getting the real deal.
supporting them. I don't know, but
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. Absolutely.
I know. I'm like, I'd rather give it to them because they've been in the same spot since I was a kid, and I think
Mhm.
honestly, it's just their little business. I don't think they do much else than that. And same thing, like farmers markets. I love all that because you know that when you talk to the person that's actually selling it, they're going to tell you their process and the history and all that. You know, again, their farming practices. You want to make sure everything's, good, the whole process.
Mhm. And I'm thinking about getting an elderberry bush because there's one our platinum. She has a homestead. She lives in like the Lancaster County area, and Sarah Stutzman, and she has elderberry bushes, and they are so beautiful. Like they get these
Yeah.
white flowers. They're fragrance, and I can't have bees here and I can't have chickens here, but I could have an elderberry bush.
You could harvest your own berries. Maybe
Wouldn't that be awesome?
we'll buy it from your Etsy shop, Denise.
Well, I don't know about that, but
You can be the happy hippie from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I could be the old hippie. I mean, my first car was a Volkswagen bus, so I really am a hippie.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
I
just
had the
Awesome.
curtains and everything, and
Nice.
took that thing. Actually, we took that up for our honeymoon, my first husband and I, up to Baxter State Park in Maine. We took that up there and we went
There you
camping.
go.
Yeah, so so I kind of am a little bit of hippie in me.
It's okay.
I lived in a log house, over 200-year-old log house, and had heated it with wood, and I was married to a logger. He was a logger, and we had big garden. I remember I was pregnant out to here, pushing a wheelbarrow. I mean, I had
That's great.
I had goats. I had a ram that almost killed my son. He was 3 years old, and he was outside and playing, and he would go down the goat pen or whatever, and I heard him screaming because I was getting laundry, because I had one of those, like the Amish, one of those, and I washed my own diapers and all that stuff. So I heard him screaming, and I ran out there, and he was against we had like a ground cellar. He was against the stone wall, and the ram had his head down, and I don't know what he was going to do. It looked like he was going to ram him. And I just went down there and was screaming to distract the thing, got it away. But so we got rid of that thing pretty quickly after that. Yeah.
Maybe I better stop this recording, before these stories really go off the rails.